Hi everyone, welcome to another Avon perfume video. This is the second one. I'll link the first one up in the cards. And today 12 more scents. So today we'll be looking at the Imari perfume range, the Incandessence one, and the Perfect Nonsense one, which is the newest range, plus one standalone perfume as well. So let's just dig right in, and the first one we're gonna look at is the Imari Corset. So this perfume only has 3 notes listed, and it is rose, cocoa butter, and raspberry liqueur, which all sound pretty interesting, to be honest. But somehow, even though the notes sound great, it just doesn't come off together that well. To me, this is quite screechy, sort of a bit too sharp. It's very aggressive smelling. It's sort of very much in your face, and like a type of sweetness that almost like tickles your nose. So I'm not really a fan of this, to be honest. Also, I don't find this to last that long either. They released this perfume in 2019, so it's still around, so maybe people do like it. It's not really for me. In general, it's a spicy, sweet scent. And because it is kind of so loud and so spicy and sweet, it kind of feels like more of an autumn scent or an evening wear. Kind of maybe even sensual. I think I can see how people like this, but it's not for me. Also, the bottles, I'm not a big fan of this bottle style. It kind of feels a bit 90s, to be honest. The next one in the range, we have Imari Queen. This one has blackberry, musk, aniseed, and rose. So, again, the notes sound fine, and even though this isn't a favorite, I would say that this is sort of a step up from the previous one. This one still has the sort of sweetness and spiciness similar to the Corset, but maybe it's the musk, maybe it's the rose, but this one feels a bit better balanced. It's not as aggressive and sort of not as much in your face as well. It feels a bit more feminine. I do find that this one doesn't last that well either. When I was testing these perfumes out, I would just spray like there's no tomorrow, but I don't really feel them after maybe like half an hour, I would say. But to be fair, I'm not very sensitive to my perfumes, so I need to overspray always, and they don't give me migraines or headaches, nothing like that, so if you are sensitive to perfumes, ignore me. And I do enjoy the rose note as well in this perfume. I'm kind of a fan of a rose lately, to be honest, and this one feels, if the previous one was a bit more sensual, then this one feels a bit more romantic, I would say, so better suited for daytime as well, maybe even all year round. Yeah, to me this is better than the Corset, but still, it's nothing groundbreaking. So that is Imari Queen. Then the next one in the Imari range, we have Free. Yeah, Imari Free. So I would say that this is another step up. So it's just getting better now. And this really does smell kind of nice. Now this has seaweed in the notes, and it has laminaria, which is a type of seaweed as well. But to be honest, don't let it scare you. It doesn't smell strange at all. You wouldn't really know if you wouldn't see the notes. But it does have that nice freshness, kind of sort of what the bottle looks like. That's how it feels as well. It's light, it's pastel colors, beautiful for spring and summer. And the seaweed is paired together with bergamot, fir, water lily, pear as well. So these are all beautiful fresh notes, and in general this is a nice, fresh, refreshing, and sort of juicy and wet feeling type of perfume. What I also want to note is I think that it's probably the fir that kind of drags it out of that shower gel stage, because even though it is fresh, it doesn't smell like a shower gel to me. I also don't find this perfume to be boring, so yeah, I might actually keep this one. I'll see. Yeah, it's nice for out of shower and for summertime. So that is Imari Free. Then moving on to the next one, we have Imari Naturelle. So for this perfume, we have a pretty typical note setup. So we have some fruits at the top, which is peach, bergamot, and red berries, I think it was. Then in the middle we have flowers, which are rose, magnolia, and jasmine. And in the base we have musk, amber, and patchouli. And in general, what it smells like, it smells kind of classic. Feminine, classic, floral. It has a tiny bit of sweetness as well, but there isn't really like one sweet note, so it's very gentle sweetness. I like that it also has the patchouli in the base notes, gives it sort of a bit of an oomph. It smells nice, but it's lacking something. It's kind of like a grab and go or everyday scent, but Yeah, I feel like this might be a bit too boring for me. It smells good, but I would never remember what this smells like. So that is Imari Naturelle. And moving on to the last one in the Imari perfume range, and that is Imari Eclipse. Obviously they've had other scents as well, but a lot of them probably have been discontinued, so I only got what's sort of like currently available. So for Eclipse we have quite a similar setup of the notes as with Naturelle, but this one feels a lot heavier and more serious. And I feel like it's all coming from the base notes of the perfume, which is vanilla, patchouli, and sandalwood. In terms of the other notes, there's also pear, there's pink pepper, there's peony, so you have your fruits and florals as well, but I feel like that base notes, they're just kind of, they're taking over, and it almost feels boozy. It almost smells boozier than the very first one, which actually had like the raspberry liqueur. It has a soft side to it as well, but it generally feels like quite a woody, spicy patchouli. It's definitely for evening wear, it's definitely for colder weather as well, and it smells interesting, but I'm not sure if in a good way. I'm not really a fan of this one either. Right, then let's move on to the next line, and that is the Incandessence. I have no idea how to pronounce that, but you know, the legendary bottle. So this has been around for 20 years now, and it's probably one of their best sellers. I really don't like the sprayer, so it kind of looks like this, sort of integrated and just a bit uncomfortable to spray, but in any case, the scent itself is a floral one. It kind of, you would expect, I think, something a bit more sweet or ambery because of the way the liquid looks, and also it has these sort of sunshine rays maybe on the bottom. I'm not sure if that's meant to be like that. I didn't expect this to smell as green, floral, and fresh as it does. In terms of the florals, here we have Lily of the Valley, which is in the top notes, and then it's followed closely by the rose and the regular lily that are in the middle notes. And then in the base it has musk, teakwood, and a clove. I don't really sense the clove. I do like the scent of a clove, but I don't really pick this up. And I think in a way it does smell like the early 2000s. Just something about it kind of reminds me a little bit maybe of J.Lo's Glow, or it reminds me very much of Elizabeth Taylor's Diamonds and Emeralds. Just very freshly cut green flower stems. It smells okay, but because I have Elizabeth Taylor's Emeralds, I don't really need something that's similar to it, so I won't be keeping this. Also, I kind of expected this to smell a bit different. Because it's been around for 20 years, I kind of thought this is like groundbreaking scent. But the perfume is kind of, it's okay-ish. And I don't think I've smelled this before on somebody else. You know, like with the super popular Avon perfumes, you have smelled them before, but I don't think I have with this one. But yeah, that is Incandescence, or however you pronounce it. Right, next up we have a flanker. Right, next up we have a flanker of the original, and that is Lotus version, which comes in a pink bottle. And this smells really beautiful. This is such a juicy, watery, cold and refreshing type of scent. It's most likely from the Lotus and the Quince. It smells really gorgeous. It has a tiny bit of sweetness to it as well. In the notes, this also has a blackberry, it has peony, it has musk, vanilla. The all-around combination of all the notes is just, it does smell like a shower gel, but like a really nice one. I currently have my after shower perfume, and once I'm through that, I feel like this might be my next one because this really smells so nice. It's so fresh. Excellent for summertime, obviously. It's super inoffensive. It kind of feels young as well, kind of more girly rather than womanly. I really can't see how somebody could not like this type of scent profile. So yeah, I think I'm gonna be keeping this one, even though it's nothing groundbreaking, but it just smells really nice. So yeah, that is Lotus. The next and last one I have here, again, there have been many flankers that have been discontinued as well. I'm not searching for those. And the currently last one available is Summer Glow, which comes in sort of a green, blue-green bottle. This is, well, obviously also a fresh scent for summertime, but this one feels a lot more elegant. This is kind of the woman's summer, not the hot girl summer. So again, pretty traditional note setup. We have fruit at the top, which are bergamot and green apple. In the middle we have rose, lily of the valley, and I believe magnolia. And then in the base there's musk, amber, and vetiver. And there's also some aquatic notes just thrown in there as well. In general, it comes off as a floral, sort of like a cool floral with a tiny bit of sweetness. I like it, but if I have to choose a summer perfume, I think I will go with the previous, the pink one, because this is kind of, it's not as fun. It's sort of more refined and elegant, but it's just not as fun as the other one. That one also, it kind of feels like wet and juicy, but this is just, it's like a powdery floral. Also kind of pulling a little bit of early 2000s, I feel like. Maybe it's the rose. Yeah, it's fine, but I prefer the other one, so I think I will be keeping that one. So this is Summer Glow. Then moving on to a perfume that I don't have the full range of, so I'll just talk about this one because this has just recently been released. And this is from the Avon Eve collection, and this is Eve 1. I don't think the color is coming off nicely on camera. In life, it's such a beautiful, beautiful pink color. It's not too light, it's not too dark. Looks better like this. But yeah, I love the color, I love the bottle, how it's a bit sort of more reflective than others, and if you can maybe see as well, I've used quite a lot of it. It doesn't look like a lot like this, but yeah, I'm not far off from using up a third of this perfume, and this is one that has been created by 3 women perfumers, which I'm all for, and I think they did a great job. So this is pretty much, this is a rose scent. You have to love the rose, otherwise this is not going to be for you. In the notes, the rose is hanging out with magnolia, pink pepper, passion fruit. It also has bergamot, white musk, cedar, and cashmere wood. So quite an interesting bunch of notes, but I'll be honest, I really just get the rose. It's kind of in between like a very fresh rose and like a soapy 90s kind of rose. It's somewhere in the middle there. It's not super fresh and woody like I would maybe expect, but it also doesn't smell like it's from a decade or two ago. It smells modern to me. It smells very romantic. This is like a flowery summer dress in a bottle. But it's not really a summer perfume per se. I think this easily could be an all year round perfume, like a signature scent as well if you love your roses. I am a fan of roses lately, that's why I have this big dent in this perfume. So I'm quite enjoying this. So yeah, obviously I am keeping this perfume in my collection. I love how it looks, I love how it smells, I love the fact that women made this, so I'm very pleased with this. So that is Eve 1. And then the last 3 perfumes, and these are all from the Perfect Nonsense perfume range. These have just come recently out, I think maybe a month or 2 ago, and I have all 3 of them. Starting off with Bamboozie Cocktail, so that is the green one. One thing I do want to say about these perfumes, that these sprayers for these bottles specifically are just incredible. They're like hard-working horses, like they spray quickly, there's no sneezing at all, there's no delay, like you can blast yourself. Spray like 20 times in a second. These are amazing sprayers. But then talking about the scent itself, so this one is actually very, very unisex. I would say almost masculine, to be honest. And Avon doesn't really do unisex scents that much, so that took me a little bit by surprise. But this one smells, well, it's very fresh, it's very cold, again, very sort of watery and wet feeling. It smells like a man's shower gel, pretty much, to me. It has a very citrusy opening, it feels very green, very fresh, brisk. It also has gin and fir in the notes, so kind of you get a gin and tonic, I suppose, but I don't really get that. I don't get the sort of boozy, alcoholic smelling type of scent. So to me, yeah, this is just, it's like a man's shower gel, pretty much. But not like in a very bad way. I don't mind wearing masculine scents either, so I'm okay with this, but I know a lot of women won't be. This is for summertime only, very, very cold feeling. I don't like wearing this in autumn and testing it out. But I like that they took the risk with it. They're trying something new. It's a unisex scent. It lasts pretty good as well, actually. So yeah, I'm not too mad at it. I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep it, but it's definitely not a bad scent at all. So that is the Bamboozie Cocktail. Moving on to the next one. It's like this one. So that's Peppery Peaches. So that's the orange one. So this one goes back into the feminine scent box, and this is a fruity floral. pretty much. It does have peach in the notes, obviously, but I don't really get the peach that much. You kind of get the fruitiness, you kind of even get a bit of that pepperiness, but because it has musk, it has rose again, it has vanilla, even solar notes, it kind of feels a bit more rounded. It's not as spicy in a sharp way, it's more of like a spicy fruits. I can also sense a powderiness, again, maybe it's from the rose. In any case, if you think you might not like the peppery, spicy note, don't be too scared about that. This is still a fresh scent. This is a fresh, fruity scent. It has a really beautiful opening, to be honest. But to me, this is missing something. It smells okay, but not too interesting for me, so I don't think I will be keeping this one. So that is Peppery Peaches. And then the very last one in the line, and today we have Choco Tuberose, which is my favorite, out of the three at least. And this one smells pretty much exactly what it describes, so it smells like a chocolatey tuberose. It's a sweet floral, but it has that interesting something about it that I'm always looking for. In the top notes we have pepper, ginger, and cosmo fruit, which is a gourmand note, as it turns out. In the middle notes we have tuberose, magnolia, and turmeric, interestingly enough, but that's where you get the florals. And then in the base it's vetiver, cypriol, and cocoa shell. All of that together, in general, feels very it feels cozy. It feels cozy, but not warm at the same time. It's a sweet floral. The sweetness is it's like a gourmand sweetness. I really like that scent. It feels cozy, soft, and creamy, but at the same time it has like a tiny bit of that freshness from the flowers, so it's not really a straight up winter only scent. I feel like it would be nice for springtime as well and autumn. I think if I could touch it and if it would have a texture, it would be soft, like a soft fuzzy sweater. I do like this scent. I think I'm definitely gonna keep this one. Yeah, I like it in the opening, I like it in the dry down, plus the sprayer is also like a tactical weapon, so I like that always. So yeah, that is Choco Tuberose. So these were the 12 next Avon scents. I will definitely have a part 3 as well, probably a part 4 too. Out of these 12 scents, I am keeping 4, so I'm keeping Imari free. I'm definitely keeping the freshy Lotus, that is absolutely beautiful. I'm keeping Eve 1, I love this rose scent. I love the bottle and color of the liquid, everything. I love this. And I'm also keeping the Choco Tuberose. So, thank you for watching, and let me know if you've tried these perfumes, what do you have in your collection, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!